Hello, my friends. Welcome to another edition of Wednesday Night Live here on the Outdoor Magazine Facebook page. How are you this evening? I'm just doing a little editing. I'm going to start putting more video up on YouTube. Some of the stuff that I post on the Facebook page that was strictly for the Facebook page and maybe Instagram a little bit too. I'm going to, I think, start putting some of that stuff up on the Outdoor Magazine YouTube channel. Hello, Ed. How are you this evening? Oops, got to go the other way there. Sorry, Zach. Nice to have you along with us. Kendall, how are you? Oh, too much. Kevin. Hello, Ross. Nice rig that your son made there for you. Bill Martin, nice to have you along with us this evening as well. Well, I feel like I'm going a little bit downhill, but I think, which way has it got to go? It's got to go that way, up that way, and we'll call her good right there. Jim Ross, Laura, how are you? Mike Thompson, nice to have you along with us tonight as well. Ed from Grove, Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain. Matt, Stephen from Owasso, hello, Bill, Todd. Did we get the storms that we were thinking about in Alabama tonight, eh, Richard? Hello, Chad. How are you? Nice to have you along with us again. We did not get the rain and the storms that I thought we were going to get. I think some parts of the state might. Might have. Hello, Tim. How are you? Josh is waiting for Metallica to start in Detroit. You went to the show, eh, Josh? Have fun down there. Ever plans this fall, you're going to go after another wolf. Ryan, do I have any hunts? Well, I have a bear hunt planned for August. Hey, Drew, it was nice to talk with you this morning as well. I'm going to Missouri on a whitetail hunt. I have some whitetail hunts planned here. Yes, the walleye bite is excellent on the bay. And will I ever go back to after a wolf? Probably not. Probably not. That wolf picture was kind of cool, wasn't it? It was a wonderful trip. Will I do it again? Probably not. It's like Africa. I've been to Africa twice. Excellent. Wonderful. Will I go back? Probably not. I've done it now. And I thank God for the television show that gave me the opportunity to do those types of things. You know, if I was just doing radio at the time, I never would have had a chance to do that. Hello, Mike. How are you this evening? Eric, Mason, Allen. Ross says he won't be able to sleep the night before we go on the bear hunt. Ross, you're going to love that bear hunt. It's a wonderful, it's a really nice. What was the weight on that wolf? 98 pounds on a scale. So when I hear people talk about a 175-pound wolf, I don't get that. I don't get that. Not here in Michigan, not in Ontario. Maybe up in Alberta, maybe in the Rockies. Any information on wild boar? No, Wayne, nothing new. Just heard about the dove in Sandhill. That would be awesome if we get it. Ron, we will get a Sandhill crane hunt. We will not get a dove hunt. That is my prediction. The Sandhills, I think, are a done deal. The feds are behind it. The feds actually want us to have a Sandhill hunt. Mourning doves, we'll never see a mourning dove hunt here in Michigan, in my opinion. We had one. We gave it up. 98 pounds, I know. That's why when people say, oh, it was a 150-pound wolf. No, it wasn't. We'll never see another. No desire to go on a mountain lion hunt. Although I hear mountain lion is excellent. My friend and former pro staffer, oh my gosh, mental block, Gus Congemi, said they're just excellent. Excellent. Best eating he's ever had, in fact. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate that. Yeah, the sandhill, they call them ribeye in the sky. Now, because we haven't hunted sandhills, a lot of us can't wrap our mind around that. It's like a lot of people couldn't wrap their mind around a dove hunt, and that's why fellow hunters turned their back on a dove hunt, because they said, oh, we'll let the antis have the dove hunt. We'll keep our deer hunting and waterfowl hunting and our upland bird hunting. And look what happened to the dove hunt. We lost the dove hunt. Mike's checking in from Appalachia. Hello, Mike. George Hunter checking in. Laura says she knows the feeling. Oh, it'll work out good, Ross. It'll work out good. You will get a chance at a bear. Yes, I think, well, here's what's pushing the sandhill hunt. And you can, I think you can thank MUCC for pushing this in large part. They said, look at, and I didn't know this, the DNR has been giving out crop damage permits for sandhills for the last couple of years. MUCC said, if we've got enough sandhills where we're giving out crop damage permits, we should be hunting them recreationally by recreational hunters. Got to agree with that. Thank you once again, MUCC. And Drew Youngdyke, who was here with us. Yeah, I do. It was nice talking with you again, Drew. You're a good guy. I am fascinated by what you're doing now with the Train to Hunt. I think my days of doing something like that are behind me, but I'm enjoying watching you vicariously. I'm enjoying watching you hump your way up that mountain with a 50-pound pack on. You were hunting around Grand Junction, Colorado, or you were out there. I have done an elk hunt out by Grand Junction, Colorado a few years ago. Well, a lot of years ago now. Sorry, I missed some of those. Well, let's see if we can pick them up. Thinking about moving to Texas, Tim. Why do you want to leave Michigan? Although I got to say, I think if you're going to leave Michigan, Texas is probably a pretty good place to go. Texas, where they have a pretty good handle on reality. I hear Sandhill is wonderful. Yeah, the ribeye in the sky. Oh my gosh, Greg says a farmer west of him has a crop damage permit for 50 sandhills. So thank you, MUCC. If we're putting out crop damage permits to that extent, we should be hunting them. Hello, Ed Beckley. How are you? Johnny Bowler, can't wait till August 10th. That's when you start bear baiting. Gosh, I love bear hunting. You're in California. Well, Tim, if you're in California, yeah, moving to Texas is probably a good idea. Chris says Grand Junction is a beautiful place. Ryan says hello from Colorado. How are you? Jeff from Southwest Michigan. Jeff, did you guys get the big storms we were talking about? They were talking about. We did not get them here in my part of the world. Philip, did I get the photo you sent me? I'm not sure which one it is. I will double check. Jim, how are you this evening? Hello, Jeff. I get so much material. Hello, Tony. And Wednesday is a very, very busy day for me. Wednesday, you did get the storms. Okay. I will look forward to the pictures, Johnny. Yeah, we need to go to Tennessee where you guys have dove hunting. We had it. I'll tell you exactly where I was my last trip out, Bill. And this was Monday night, and we caught, I don't know, 35 to 40 walleye. We kept our 16, and they were good fish. I was in 13 to 14 feet of water on the west side of the bay. I was trolling number 7 shad raps, and I was trolling them 60 to 75 feet behind the offshore boards at 2.3 miles an hour. Oh, Tom Kramer, how are you? Need to do a show on pistol deer hunting. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea to me. Ross says you can't bait in the Gladwin unit till August 27th. Johnny's up in the UP. Is that what's making the difference here, guys? Trout fishing in Colorado, catching some nice brookies. Dan says just a little bit of rain in Howell. Linwood, Mike. Well, I've been going out of the mouth of the Saginaw River and heading over south of Linwood. Hello, Paul Phillips. How are you, Paulie Phillips? Paul and I made a plan yesterday that he will be on the radio show the end of August 23rd. And then we're going to go out that evening for a Wednesday night live, August 23rd. He's going to take me out and shoot a mile. Now, as an archer who I'm used to 40-yard shots, the thought of shooting a rifle at a mile is kind of daunting to me. Paul says he can get me to do that. And then August 2nd, my next Wednesday night live in the field will be in St. Louis, Michigan at the Apex Marine Plant as they unveil their 2018 Angler Quests. Carl says, how fast do you pull those shad raps? I've been going 2 to 2.4, Carl, but I'm new. They're not shad raps. They're flicker shads. They're flicker shads. But I'm fairly new to them. I'm just learning how to fish them, but I like them a lot so far. They seem to catch bigger fish than the spoons do. Tony says, how do I like my boat? I love my boat. Tony at Angler Quest, absolutely love it. Is it too early to start thinking about squirrel season? Not if that's what you like, Jeff. It's never too early. Bay Archery sold to new owners. I have not heard that. Jim says they're still catching them in 20 feet of water with crawlers. Any future events at Dixie Dave's? Nope, not in the near future. I was actually quite unhappy with how the last one went. It got too big. Hello, Bob. How are you? Catching lots of trout in Iowa. Good for you, Jason. Ross has fished my boat. He said he loves that boat. Hello, Kenny Slavens from Jay's Sporting Goods. How are you? jaysportinggoods.com. We talked with Brian Darlin today on the Jay's Sporting Goods podcast. It'll be online tomorrow. Talking to him from the iCast show about fishing tackle. What we're going to see on the shelves at Jay's. Did my Darton come with a scope package? Yes, it did. Got to be honest. I took the scope off my old bow and put it on my new bow just because I liked that scope better. But there's nothing wrong with the scope that comes with the Toxin 100 now. Brian says, did I get my bear permit? No, I did not, but I only put in for the points. I think next year I'll put in for the second season, and I might be able to get one with just 2 points. It takes about 8 points where I was hunting in the Newberry district to get one in the first season. Can I show us what the Sharia looked like? I think you mean, well, Michelle, I hope you don't mean Sharia. I hope you mean flicker shads. I don't have any with me, so I can't. They look a lot like a shad wrap. Brent, I have not heard about the grouse hatch here in Michigan. Hello, Lonnie. How are you? Good evening to you as well. Any idea when the Great Lakes Wolf decision will be coming out? They said a couple of months. Don't know. What do I think about a $1 tag for Michigan? I think we should have a $1 tag in Michigan. But as people are quick to point out, I don't know anything about deer hunting, so my opinion doesn't mean anything. Robert says, I believe if you're going over 2 miles an hour, you're going too fast with the flicker shads. I will disagree with you, Robert. I am brand new to fishing flicker shads, but I can tell you right now our best speed was 2.3 miles an hour, and I know Lance Valentine, who is an expert flicker shad angler, trolls them up to 2.6, 2.7. So I think that's one of the reasons why they are such a versatile bait. They're not speed sensitive. You can run them slow, you can run them fast, and they're one of the few baits I know, other than maybe a stick bait, like a bomber or Rapala, that you can actually run with spoons at spoon speed. And in fact, I've done this. I've used, fished spoons and flicker shads at the same time and caught fish on both. Ross said they've got many limits at 2.4 miles an hour. Hello, Paul Jenkins. How are you? The fishing on Saginaw Bay this summer is some of the best in years. The water temp is staying a little bit cooler, and the fish are staying in the inner bay a little bit longer than usual. Carl said they put 70 miles on the ATV in northern UP last weekend. Saw several grouse with little ones. Should be a good season. Good to hear. Brian says if you read the flicker shad articles, the woods and water this month, anything below 2.3 miles an hour, you have to have a tendency to pick up trash fish like sheephead. A lot of thoughts on the flicker shads, huh? Colder months is when you want to slow down. I ran 1.5 and did well. You'll be trying 2.5. I think, Mike, that's a good idea. What's my opinion on the limit of fish to eat due to mercury? Don't have one, Larry. Lawrence. Haven't researched it. Don't really have much of an opinion, so I don't want to shoot my mouth off. I do know that in the past, when they put out the Great Lakes Fish Advisory, the consumption advisories, what they would do was grind up the entire fish rather than taking the fillets off, and I thought that was a little bit unrealistic. Chevy and us going to Quebec in the spring, interested side-by-side mirrored cabins with adjoining door? Yeah. In fact, I'm taking Chevy fishing next Tuesday, and I'm sure we'll talk about that. Have you got my buddy Captain John lined up for that fishing trip under the bridge yet? No, I have not. Thank you. And Art, thank you. It says good Wednesday night broadcast. I do not. I tell you what, Art, I'm having a hard time right now. I'm having a hard time leaving the Saginaw Bay walleye. I'm enamored by those fish. I'm addicted to those fish. And I just have so much fun with them. I can't leave them. In the past, when my dad was still alive, and up until the end when he wasn't doing so well, we would always go over and fish salmon in early August. I haven't done that for several years. That was a lot of fun. Mike says it's on fire this year. It is. Mike, would you say it's the best Saginaw Bay walleye fishery in the last 10 to 15 years? That's what I'm hearing from a lot of people. Brian says, Bob McGee, we'll see you there. Mike says, you want to go with me and Chevy? Tuesday, Mike? Seriously? You want to go Tuesday? It's done. A done deal. Love to have you with us, Mike. Love to have you with us. You available Tuesday? And we'll see how the weather goes. I am fishing Saturday. I have to take some friends out Saturday. I wouldn't be surprised if I sneak out for a couple hours on Friday. And I'm fishing with Chevy, and now it looks like Mike Thompson again on Tuesday. So, am I hooking him on the front or rear hook? The ones we've been getting, Tim, have been multiple hooks. They've been real aggressive. Okay, Mike, consider it done. Everybody's saying the best fishery out there in a long time. Good, good, good. And when you're getting them on both hooks, that front hook too, it means they're aggressive, eh, Tim? Have a good time foraging and be safe. Foraging. Help me out, Bob. Mike Cheesy been fishing the bay for 25 years. This is the best he's seen ever. Ron says he'll pay for gas. Yeah. Chad, fish the Riverwalk in downtown Bay City. Good place to fish for walleye. Or the park. The part out in Essex, Hampton Township. I can't think of the name of the park. I bet it is beautiful out there tonight. You hate lazy fish? I hate smart fish, Tim. I will take stupid, aggressive fish any day of the week, because that's probably about the only kind I can catch, the stupid, aggressive ones. Perch on the Riverwalk, too, yeah. Hey, a couple of things I want to talk about tonight. And believe me, I love shooting the breeze with you guys. And I took you guys up on one of your suggestions a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about going across the border to go hunting or fishing. And we're talking about customs and border patrol and how you get through there. Ross, God bless you for that. God bless you for that. Talking about cancer. We all know I hate cancer. In the first hour of this week's show, I have Supervisor Jason Bittner from the Customs and Border Patrol talking about that very issue. If you're hunting or fishing in Canada, what do you have to do? How do you get a gun over into Canada? And don't take your handgun. Well, Chuck, I thought I was fishing with Jim Felgenauer and Don McChristian Jr. But I'm willing to fish down there with anybody. I'll be down there in September. Jason Bittner, Tom Campbell, Drew Youngdyke, the new DNR wildlife veterinarian, Kelly Straka, Matt Smith, Smitty from Matt Smith Outdoors talking about getting hunting land. And then in hour number 3, Mark Torregrossa talking about the weather for the rest of the summer and this fall. And then Dixie Dave Miner. I wanted to talk about a couple of things tonight. And Chad, if you're still here, Chad Stearns of Jay Sporting Goods, good friend of mine who I never get to see anymore, is the one who impressed on me that you, whenever you're out in the woods, you got to be taking some binos with you, some binoculars. I also like to have a pair of binoculars on the boat with me so I can see what's going on. I can see what other baits people are using. 3 models I want to show you tonight, and these are all from Vanguard, Michigan-based Vanguard Outdoors. You mentioned your father. Any footage for your TV show where you shared a fishing or hunting trip? Yeah, I do have video, and I haven't really shown any of it. That's not a bad idea. Maybe on the 1-year anniversary of his death. Is that too morbid, Brian, or is that a tribute? I do have some, yeah. Vanguard Outdoors, a company that I really, really love to work with. They're a big worldwide company, but their United States headquarters are based here in Michigan. Let's start with top end. These are the Endeavor ED4s. These are 8x42s. These are beautiful. Tribute. All right, I appreciate that, Mark. Beautiful binoculars. Chad, I think you would love these very much. $500, so they're not cheap. But when you look at the, oh, that's nice, Ross, of you to say that. But when you look at the price of top quality binos, these Vanguard ED4s are a very good value. And I tell you what, the first time you put these up to your eyes, you go, man, that is clear, that is super bright, crisp, a lot of light gathering. $500 for the new ED4s. These happen to be 8x42s. You want to jump down the line a little bit? Well, here you go, Lawrence. These are the Oros. Now, there's a line in between the ED4s and the Oros. These are 10x42s. These are $129. Now, if you were serious about using binos for hunting, these are more of a casual. I'm going to say these are not for hardcore, long range, week at a time out west. These are for the average Michigan hunter, the average bird watcher. You want to set in the truck, a pair in the truck or in the boat. Again, very, very good quality. And these are the Oros 10x42s, $129. I just got my hands on these. These are Oros. These are 10x25. Okay, 10 by 42. That's kind of a cool shot right there, isn't it? Hey, 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 hey. The objective lens, closest to the object, 42 millimeters. These are 25 millimeters. So these obviously are going to gather more light than these are. But look at the size of these things. Hello, Tom Herder. How are you? 10 power. I've got these in my truck. I threw a pair of these in my truck because they don't take up any room. I threw a pair in the boat. $79 or $89. Now, obviously, you're not going to get the quality of image out of these that you are of these. These are $500. These are 80 bucks. But for 80 bucks, what a good deal to have with you all the time. Yeah, mention my name. Maybe you'll get a discount. Yeah, see how that works for you, Larry. Lawrence. Can I call you Larry? Lawrence, can I call you Larry? And all of these, from this to this, have a lifetime warranty. Lifetime warranty. And I'm not even talking about their rifle scopes, their spotting scopes. I have, I know, really small for a 10 power, isn't it? That's why I like these. Hello, Chef. How are you? I haven't talked to you for a while. I really like these because they are so small. And again, you know, you're not going to get the image out of these that you are out of these, but you're talking two different levels of equipment. But on any of them, lifetime warranty. These have the real high-end Hoya glass on them, which I'm pretty impressed with. I mean, I'd put these right up there with the Zeiss and the Swarovskis, and they're a good brand. Have I used their scopes? No, Mark, I haven't, because I haven't hunted with a gun that's had a scope on it in years and years and years. Next time I go out with a gun hunt with a scope, you can bet I will have a Vanguard scope on it, though. You're working hard, Chef? Better busy than bored, isn't it? Yeah. Are they Michigan made? No, they are not Michigan made. They are not Michigan made, as they're made overseas, but they are a Michigan company, employs Michigan people. Their facilities, I think, White Lake. So I'm pretty happy to be working with these guys. And everybody I have turned on to Vanguard products says that they are really, really a good value for the money. So Vanguard, Vanguard Outdoors. Oh, and check out the new Vanguard podcast, too. RaiseYourGlassPodcast.com or Vanguard Outdoors/podcast, I think, are the two places you can find it. What else is going on? What else you want to talk about? Cicadas. Have you heard a cicada buzz yet? Cicada is also called a tree locust. If you've seen them up close, they are very, very ugly. Ugly to the point of being beautiful. Yeah, they all do, Ross. They all do. And they start buzzing about this time of year. Now, they're a little bit early this year. No, they are not made in Michigan, Bob. They are not. But it's a Michigan company employing Michigan people. Now, I can't tell you anything about perch, Mike. I don't know. I haven't been out. Okay, Nathan, you have heard a cicada. What part of the state are you in? Now, the old saying, and I love these old sayings, is that from the time you hear the first cicada buzz until the first frost, not the first killing frost, but the first frost will be 6 weeks. Well, I've kept track of this for years. My dad used to keep track for years, and it's actually... how is my phone holder for your live feeds on your boat working? Do you like it? On the boat. I'm just using the flexible tripod right now. I've been keeping track of it, and it's actually closer to 8 weeks until the first frost. However, if you look at that right now, 8 weeks, it would be the middle of September we would have our first frost. That seems very early. But the cicadas are buzzing very early. You heard them in St. Helen last weekend. See, where I am in the new house, let's see, Laura says she loves the Vanguard VEO AM 24TU tripod. Anyone know how to remove the shooting V? Can't get an answer. I can get you an answer, Laura. Tell me, send me an email or a text tomorrow, and I will get you an answer on that. I don't know the answer, but I will get you an answer. I do use the Vanguard, the tripod. It's probably the same one you're using. Really, really like it. Thought you had something that kept it level. I do, Bill, but it's... don't know where it is. Here it is. I've got this. This is a pseudo Steadicam. Now, I got a real high-tech one, and Laura, it's for sale. I had a real high-tech one that was motorized and battery-operated. That's probably in that drawer, too. And it was very, very nice. However, it did not allow me room to plug in my microphone. And I would just as soon use a better microphone than the mic on the phones. So I went back to this, which is basically just a counterweight. I'll shrink it down a little bit for you here. It's just a counterweight. And with this, you know, especially if I control it with my hand here, I can make it pretty smooth. So this is what I've been using the most. This is called StableCam, S-T-A-Y-B-L cam. And this is what I use the most. If I can find a full-blown 3-axis battery-operated Steadicam that has room for me to put in my microphone, I will do that. I'm going to be sturgeon fishing with Jim and Don in September. I hope so, Chuck. And the microphone that I want to plug in, here it is. Right now you can see I'm using this microphone, a lavalier, which gives me better audio than what the mic on the phone does. When I'm doing my Facebook Lives and I'm going to be moving around with multiple people, I like to put this mic into my phone. It plugs into the lightning connector. This I have on there just because it's, last time I had it out it was kind of windy. With this, and this is a Shure MV88, MV, Michael Victor 88, MV88. You can use an app on your phone and you can change the pickup pattern of this. Shotgun, cardioid, stereo, mono. You can change the gain. You can change the sensitivity. It's a very, very nice mic. And this is what I prefer to use, but you can see it takes up some room, so I couldn't plug it in. So I decided to stick with this and this because I learned a long time ago that people will accept subpar video much more than they will accept subpar audio. Good audio can make good video, but bad video can make good audio bad. So I'm kind of an audio snob, I guess. Jason, how are you? How are things over at Whitetails? Was it Whitetails Unlimited? By the way, Jason, my wife loves your garage door. She said, did you see what your buddy's garage door looks like? That's what I want, one of those. So thank you, Jason, for costing me some more money. I appreciate that. Is that weather permitting with that equipment? Yeah, Larry, it's going to have to be because in a downpour I wouldn't be able to use it. That's a good point. So yeah, unlike my old professional gear that had its own built-in or rain covers, this stuff does not. Move back to Michigan, Florida, changing doctor's license so you can fish. Good for you, Barry. Hey, yeah, Jason says not a problem. Not a problem with that at all. Hey, Jason, we were talking about Saginaw Bay walleye fishing. Do you agree that this summer is some of the best fishing on Saginaw Bay for walleye in many, many years? Unbelievable. Even without those night crawlers, which you know I hate. A couple of other things I want to talk about. How's our time? We're doing good. But I can't find my sheet, so I don't know what to tell you. There it is. I want to talk about flicker shads. Hello, Joe from Scottville. How are you? Flicker shads. Now, people say, how do you know how deep your flicker shads are running? Or any crankbait? Precision Trolling, the Troller's Bible. Mark Romanak. You know the name Mark Romanak. You were out yesterday. Crazy numbers. Good for you, Jason. You know the name Mark Romanak. Precision Angling, Fishing 411 Television. Do I remember a guy named Rick Schultz? He's in the outdoor TV shows, filming and producing. Rick Schultz. Ross, I do not. Good evening, Lori. How are you? I put the app, the Precision Trolling app, on my phone, and so I can dial it right in. And I can tell you right now, same in the St. Clair River, that's what I've heard, Chuck, that a number 7 flicker shad, 70 feet back, is going to put you down about 10 feet. And if you put it 80, it's going to put you about 11. 90 is going to put you about 12. So once you know where they run, You can remember that, but you got to find out somehow how they run in the first place. So I've got offshore tadpoles in there. I've got flicker shads. I've got Hottentots. Lead core, you know, is about 4 to 5 feet per color, depending on speed. So 2-color lead is going to get you down 8 to 10, 3-color 12 to 15, roughly, again, depending on speed. Cicadas podcast, Facebook Live. I'm going to start putting some of the videos. I do some of the. What app is it? It's called Precision Trolling, Precision Angling. Ida, Michigan, or Ada, Michigan, Dan? I mean, there may be an Ida. I just don't know it. I had a cousin named Ida, but I don't think that's what you're talking about. Precision Trolling app. I'm checking it. Wow, Precision Trolling at Amazon? Working 94 hours a week? Man. That's the Precision Trolling Bible. Bear recurve bow a couple of weeks ago. Turns out it's a 1965 Grizzly with a zebra wood riser. James, your friend is a very, very good friend. Oh my gosh. Precision Trolling Data, or Data, Ross, this is for you. PrecisionTrollingData.com. Here you can get the app, the Android version, or the Apple version. Wow. Speaking of Android and Apple versions of apps, you know, we have a new app for the Outdoor Magazine radio show and podcast. The Apple version is done. It's in the iTunes store. It's a free download. The Android version will be done soon. You can get that at Google Play. And Ross, have you used these dive curves before? What they do... Flickerman, okay, flicker shad right here. I don't think he'll give me the curve because you should have to buy it. Yeah, it'll give you a curve. It is Ida. Okay, Southern Michigan, south of Monroe. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate that. It shows how far back you put your bait behind the boat or your planer board and how deep it'll run. They're very, very good. You can get stickers on that too. You stick them right to your tackle organizers. Tim, that's a great idea, and I'm looking at those right here. Yes, Scott. James, yes, please post a picture of that bear recurve on the Facebook page. You should, Ross. It's very, very helpful. About anything you control with, there is a dive curve for it, and Mark Romanek has put one together. Very, very good. I don't hunt with a recurve anymore. I take the easy way out. I hunt with a crossbow. Don't hate me for that, although many of you already do. But I can tell you what. Hello, Sandy. How are you? Some of my most enjoyable hunts and most beautiful and basic and were with a recurve. There's something about shooting a recurve. There's something about hunting with a recurve. Doggone it. I got a recurve my dad made. Right? I'll show you that next week, okay? I'll show you a recurve that my dad made next week. It's just over on the other side of the door there. You want to wait? Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Told you. I'll be right back. Did you stay with me? A recurve is the most dead air. The most beautiful, basic, simple piece of archery equipment. No sights, no stabilizer, no extra arrow rest. No nothing. And I've hunted with them before. And this particular one is not that fancy. But this is one that my dad made. So I will never get rid of this bow. I have shot it at the target range. No, I've never killed anything with this recurve. I have killed animals with a recurve, but I have never killed anything with this recurve because I've never hunted with this. Because it's a little bit light. James, how do you post a picture to the page? If you've liked the page, just you folks tell me. I've never posted from the outside, so I don't know how to do it. But this is pretty light. The limbs are pretty light. You could probably hunt small game with this, but I don't think you could hunt deer with this. But knowing that this is 50, almost 60 years old, and knowing that my dad made this, my dad was quite a woodworker, you've seen, yeah. Knowing that my dad made this with his hands, and he shot it, I don't know if he hunted with it, and that he's gone, this is one of my most valued and treasured pieces of outdoor gear. So thank you for letting me show you this. And it's not fancy, you know, but I would take that bow over a bear recurve just because my dad made it. So it's pretty cool. So thanks for letting me show you that. Far cry from my dart and crossbow, my Toxin 100 crossbow. Two different worlds. I don't know, Scott, if I could kill a deer with it. It is very light. As far as the limbs, it's a little too light. I've shot it. Dan says the compound versus crossbow debate's getting old. Feet per second are the same. Absolutely. Nice recurve. Thank you, Dan. Yep. Well, he didn't make it for me, Dan. He didn't make it for me. He made it for himself, but now I have it. My mic is humming. Is it still humming? I have not killed a turkey with that recurve, Jeff, but I have killed a turkey with a recurve. Is my mic still humming? And thank you, Larry. Larry, can I call you Larry? Please let me know if I can or not. Thank you for letting me know that because bad audio drives me crazy. It's not humming. Okay, I appreciate that. Lawrence, Larry, no, I can't call you Larry, or no, my mic isn't humming anymore. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Yeah, okay, I can call you Larry, and no, my mic isn't humming. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate that. Paul, are you still looking for some bear hunters? That makes sense. It changes when I move the mic cable. Hello, Ben. How are you this evening? Coming up here in a couple of weeks. It's about 3 weeks now. Yassine, thank you for allowing me to. Paul needs 2 bear hunters. He's in the Red Oak District. Oh, speaking of that, Gary Morgan. And thank you, Paul, for reminding me. Gary Morgan of East Lake Outfitters Wild Game Dynasty is working with the folks from Cops and Donuts, and he wants to give away some Cops and Donuts tonight. How do you enter to win? You have to like the Wild Game Dynasty Facebook page. So when we're done here, don't do it right now, or if you're on your laptop, use your phone to go over to Wild Game Dynasty, the Facebook page Wild Game Dynasty, and like the page, and then Gary will pick the winner. So it's out of my hands. I can't take any grief one way or another. But if you'd like to win a dozen, I think it's a dozen donuts they give away from Cops and Donuts. I appreciate that, Barry. Paul hunts over bait. I can tell you that, Brandon. Paul hunts over bait, and he's got some big monster bear behind where he's hunting. Paul, I wouldn't mind getting in there doing a little bow hunting for whitetails, too. I don't know if you allow that or not later in the season. So Paul's a stand-up guy. I can recommend him. Gary Morgan of East Lake Outfitters Wild Game Dynasty is a stand-up guy. And Gary's giving away some Cops and Donuts. When we're done here, go to the Wild Game Dynasty Facebook page. Like the Facebook page. And Gary will select a winner. And we'll do this for the next couple of weeks. So Paul, seeing your name on there reminded me of Gary's giveaway. So appreciate that very much. So coming up August 2nd, we'll be doing Facebook Live, Wednesday Night Live, from the Angler Quest plant, the Apex Marine plant in St. Louis, Michigan, as they unveil their new 2018s. And then August 23rd, we'll be live somewhere north of town here. They've got a place where they can shoot a mile, they being Paul Phillips and the other guys from the Extreme Long Range Shooting Group. They can shoot a mile. They've got a place where they can shoot over water, shoot a mile distance. They just got back from out west where they were shooting 2 miles between mountains across the valley. But here in Michigan, they found a place you can shoot a mile. They say they can take me out there, get me dialed in so they can have me on paper shooting at a mile and hitting a target. So we'll be doing that Wednesday night, August 23rd. At least that's the plan. Weather permitting, as everything is in the outdoors, right? Weather permitting. We get some rotten weather, we'll have to postpone it. I just saw that pic, James. All right, and I will post it. Thank you. I just can't take a look at it right now. One last time. Vanguard ED4s. Top quality Hoya glass, lifetime guarantee. Absolutely beautiful binos. As good an image as I have ever seen in a pair of binoculars, $4.99. The Oros, these are 10 by 42s. Really good glass for the money, $129. Now, you're not going to get the image out of these that you will out of these, but you wouldn't expect so. $4.99, $129. But for $129, very good binos. And if you want something you can stash in your pocket, you can put in your fishing vest, you can put in your truck. These small Oros, these are 10 by 25s. Obviously, you're not going to get the image out of these that you would out of these. These are $4.99. These are $80. All of these come with a lifetime warranty. So check out the Vanguard website. VanguardWorld.us is where you want to start out. VanguardWorld.us. Are they kid-proof, Larry? Is anything kid-proof? Brian says, do you yourself set trail cams? If so, no, because I have nowhere to hunt. I have nowhere to hunt, Brian. I have no land that I hunt. I have nowhere to put trail cameras. The only time I use trail cameras is when I go to White River, Ontario. I put them out on the baits to see what kind of bears are coming in. 4x8 sheet of plywood might be the best. Yes, Scott, it might. Or 10 by 20. Tim says, anytime for a dart and plant tour. Tim, I'm working on it. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm ready to go, but they're not. Gary, I just plugged your Cops and Donuts giveaway. I almost forgot. I told them to go to Wild Game Dynasty, the Facebook page, facebook.com/Wild Game Dynasty, to like your page, and you would pick the winner, so it's not on my shoulders. You're interested in the $129 one, you see? Go to the website, VanguardWorld.us, and you'll see there's another. Let me go to my history real quick. I can tell you. Vanguard binos. Now I'm curious. I'll just check this out. Vanguard World. There's the ED4s, the Endeavor ED4s, and then they go into the Oros. Okay. So it goes Endeavor and then Oros, but there are cheaper, I don't want to say cheaper, less expensive Endeavors than these. And they also have one that they're working with the guys from Major League Bowhunter that's very popular. They're $199. So go to VanguardWorld.us and check those out. Sandy says she liked it and we'll share it. Well, Sandy, appreciate that. Got a couple of minutes left. I like to keep these about 45 minutes, just in time for me to say good night, eh, Ray? Mention Mike did get a discount. If you mention Mike to Gary Morgan at Wild Game Dynasty, he'll give you a free bear hunt. Oh, no? Oh, okay. All right. Harry, your connection must have dropped off. I see you're back with us. So I will be on the water possibly Friday. I will definitely be out there on the water Saturday, and then I'll be fishing with Dave Chevalier, Chevy, and Mike Thompson next Tuesday as well. And then next Wednesday, back in the studio, back to do another Wednesday Night Live. It woke you up suddenly, eh? What did? Your Facebook page, Gary? All right, anything else tonight? Because we're running out of time. Appreciate you being along with us. Still looking out the window here, still daylight. Does not look like any storms coming our direction. Tom, Coach, you joined us just in time for me to say good night. Once again, one last time. Gary, I don't know if you got to see this. I'll show you this again. This is a recurve that my dad made about 50 years ago. The limbs are a little bit light to deer hunt with. I think you could small game hunt with it. Oh, woke you up. You're coming on a free hunt. Gotcha. I have not been fishing, well, Scott, I have not been fishing the skinny water that I normally do, 3 to 7 feet, because it's all weeded up. I have been fishing 13 to 14 feet of water. Harry, you knew my dad. Hello, Peggy Bliss. Peggy knew my dad as well. My dad made this bow, this recurve bow. He made it about 50 years ago. I got it before he died, and now that he's gone, I will never give this thing up. Rob Trott, an icon in the outdoor industry. Always a pleasure to have you along with us. Again, it's a little bit light to hunt deer with, but what a wonderful treasure to have. To think that my dad made this with his hands roughly 50 years ago, and now I have it. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I'm glad to say that. Well, thank you, Larry, and I appreciate you being along with us as well. So listen, that'll wrap up this edition. All right, I will think twice about that, Brian. I will think twice about that. It should be on my wall. Well, it's not on my wall, and it's normally right there in the corner of my office where I'm sitting right now, but I took it out, remember about 3 weeks ago or a month ago now, when the hot water heater sprung a leak and the water was coming in on a Wednesday Night Live. I moved the bow from there because I didn't want it to get wet, but I will bring it back out here now where I can see it every day and keep a close eye on it. All right, folks, appreciate you being along with us. Check the Facebook page. I'll be out here in the water quite a bit over the next week or so, see how I'm doing, and let me know how you're doing as well. I love to see your pictures of fish. I love to see your pictures of coyotes, trail cam pictures, your thoughts, your questions, your comments. Appreciate you being along with us. Have a great night, and we'll talk to you next time right here on the Outdoor Magazine Facebook page.